Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie, and earlier this week in my Arrow review I asked you to all submit your questions about the epic mess that Slade is making for Team Arrow. I picked 10 of them with one bonus question to answer in this video. I tried to stick to the really important stuff, like new characters, team-ups, and Flash related stuff. If you're finding me for the first time, I typically do Q&A videos for big shows just so we can talk a little bit more about the most interesting parts. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, and let's answer some questions. So, number 1 comes from Count Swagula. Maybe episode 20, Seeing Red, could be Roy's first appearance as Red Arrow, or Barry Allen coming back, or Roy putting on the tights. So that's a good question. We actually know a couple things. Roy will get his suit, and characters from The Flash are coming to Arrow, or back to Arrow, before the end of the season. So like a lot of episode titles, I think that it means both things. There is a special announcement that goes hand in hand with episode 20, and it has a lot to do with episode 19, and the potential for a supporting character to die. A lot of the questions and my answers subsequently tie back into this, so I'll be elaborating across the rest of this Q&A though. Question number 2, Tom Steven asks, I thought that it would be 20 episodes in season 2. You're saying instead of 23. There are currently 23 listed on the Futon Critic. So what's happening is there's a break next week. Then on March 19th, there's episode 15, The Suicide Squad, and every week after that will be a new episode until the finale. That episode, 23, will be on May 14th. We only know the titles of the episodes up to 18 and episode 20. In order, those are Suicide Squad, Birds of Prey, Deathstroke, and Seeing Red. We don't know the names of episodes 19 or the last 4 yet. Question number 3, Red Arrow 1596 asks, do you think Amanda Waller will approach Slade in the season finale and ask him to join the Suicide Squad? And what do you think about their potential for becoming sort of the altogether big bad for season 3? So if you're asking if Slade is going to join the Suicide Squad or if the Suicide Squad is going to be the big bad for season 3, it's kind of a no for both of those questions. I'll say probably not for that first part, and definitely not to the second. The Suicide Squad are great anti-heroes. Those are like protagonists that aren't necessarily good guys, like evil people working with good guys towards a common goal, under a temporary ceasefire. It's possible that the members of the Suicide Squad could go rogue in the future, but then Amanda Waller would just send the rest of the squad to kill or capture them. I'll talk more about potential big bads for season 3 when we get closer to the finale. There's still so many things we don't know about how the season's going to end. Question number 4, Sarah Sunshine asks, do you think that it's possible to see Slade's children sometime later, like Rose or Jericho? So thank you for asking this question, because I was just thinking of like a Darth Vader arc for Slade. What I mean is that Darth Vader starts out as a good person, Anakin Skywalker, and when you watch Star Wars movies starting with episode 1, ending with Return of the Jedi, the overarching story becomes the redemption of Vader. So all of Star Wars isn't really Luke's story, it's really the story of Vader's fall from grace and ultimate redemption. What happened to cause Vader to seek redemption? His children showed up. In the comics, Slade's children pretty much hate him for being so evil, but we really don't know how Arrow is going to deal with that relationship. Slade was lying when he said that he didn't have any children during the last episode though. Oliver specifically mentioned Jericho on the island in episode 12. It was when Slade first started to freak out on the Mirakuru. In the comics, he had another son, Grant, the first Ravager, who died, and a daughter, Rose, who became the second Ravager after her brother's death. They're kind of like a backdoor to a Teen Titans show with Roy Harper. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that Arrow's going to go this Darth Vader route with Slade's character, the exception being that he's not going to die at the end. Question number 5, Ice White Scarab asks, because there was a girl with blonde hair and black fingernails, do you think that Harley Quinn will be introduced in the Suicide Squad episode? You're talking about this girl. So I definitely think that it's Harley Quinn. There are a couple other theories, but based on the nail polish and the link to the comic books, it makes a lot of sense given the big moments Arrow has already given us with the other A-list supers like The Flash this season. There's an even bigger character coming in the finale, which I'll speechify in just a little bit though. Question number 6, Michael Hernandez asks, could the blonde girl in the jail cell, this girl, be Tara instead of Harley Quinn? Tara does have a partnership with Deathstroke in the comics, so it's definitely another possibility. Remember in episode 12, Tremors, the earthquake machine was being bought by someone in Markovia. That would have been Tara's father. In the comics, she started working with Deathstroke and ultimately infiltrated the Teen Titans. So hey, I guess if it does turn out that Crazy Hair Girl is Tara, it's just more evidence that CW is trying to develop a Teen Titans show. So everybody get excited about that. Question number 7, JKFG asks, Do you think that it's a possibility that Felicity might be Ivo's daughter? So this is actually a really good theory that a lot of people have been talking about. The backstory Felicity has given us lines up with a lot of what we know about Ivo on the show, and it would be one more way to make her part of Slade completing his, awesome full circle revenge that started with Shadow's death. I definitely think that it would really add a nice dimension to Felicity's character. The big question though is what happened to Ivo after Slade chopped his hand off. He didn't die, and the episode kind of cut off in the middle of that story. Question number 8. Shabab Shabir asks, do you think that Malcolm Merlyn will appear in this villain arc? So he has to come back at some point. There are a couple of theories. He could be working on his own to win over Thea. He does care about family. He totally went nuts when Tommy died, and the only reason he came back to Starling was for Thea. The other possibility is that he's working with Slade and just using the opportunity to win Thea over. Remember, he doesn't want to hurt her. I don't think this is a good theory though, and we know he's keeping his distance from the League of Assassins. But during Heir to the Demon, Sarah did name drop him. When Merlyn does come back, and he definitely will, expect that the League won't be too far behind him, either to stop him or to help him. His character is really closely linked with them this season, so they're not going to be far behind him. Question number 9. Elena Pedatic asks, when Flash starts, will it work with Arrow's storyline, or will it have its own, so it's easier to follow for people who don't watch Arrow? So yes, you will be able to watch The Flash without watching Arrow, but I don't recommend it. You'd be missing so many Easter eggs and references. Characters from both shows are going to be jumping back and forth, so I would say definitely watch Arrow. It's so good. I'm guessing the reason you're asking is because you or someone you know is a huge Grant Gustin fan, but not a fan of the people on Arrow. That is totally okay, but you should definitely tell your friends to start watching Arrow. Tell them to drink the Kool-Aid. Question number 10, Bangmaid asks, that's just a crazy name. Do you think that there would be a series of events leading up to Sarah dying and Laurel being injected with Mirakuru and thus becoming the new Black Canary? So Mark Guggenheim said that there's a really special announcement around episode 19. He used this with an Aaron Sorkin quote about an episode of The West Wing where one of the big characters died. We don't know what the announcement he's going to make is, but based on that West Wing reference, it sounds a lot like someone from Team Arrow is going to die. Right now, the biggest possibilities from least to most likely are Laurel, Thea, and then Sarah. So yes, right now Sarah is the highest on my hit list. It would fit thematically with Slade completing his circle of revenge, making Oliver choose whether he kills Sarah or Felicity, just the same way Shadow died. Another possibility is that Thea dies and Merlyn calls down the League of Assassins on Slade, but that's not really as likely because remember Oliver's quote, Ra's al Ghul would be trouble for everyone, heroes and villains. By the way, Manu Bennett definitely did drop that Ra's al Ghul was coming to Starling City. Mark Guggenheim kind of did the same thing, teasing a major surprise like this in the finale. He didn't say Ra's al Ghul, but he did say that it was something that would depend on a bunch of other stuff working out behind the scenes, so it could still fall through. So yes, he is still coming, but it's not official until the Arrow people make it official. They are doing everything they can to use the character on the show though. No idea on who would play him or if Liam Neeson would just reprise the role. He probably would not though. And one last bonus question. Vijay Krishnan asks, who do you think that person was who knocked out Diggle? That was actually the Huntress. If you look closely, she's got belt buckles here and the stick weapons that look just like the ones in the clips from the Birds of Prey episode. So thank you so much guys for submitting your questions. This was a lot of fun as always, and thank you so much for your patience in me getting my videos out. I had a ton of extra real life work this week and it makes it so much harder to get videos out on time. So tonight I'm going to try and catch up on Hannibal and community videos, but there's also a bunch of other stuff that I'm still trying to do. I still owe you guys South Park Stick of Truth, new Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, and Anime Club all before Monday. I'm going to try and spread it all out, so hopefully I will have time to get it all done. If you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get that stuff. It's a lot of fun to make. Hopefully it will be my full-time job to just make videos someday. Until then, click here to watch that epic Arrow trailer again, and click here to watch my review of the episode. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.